Hey y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, coming to you. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020, and I'm coming to talk to you about some healthy, sustainable habits that I used to finish my PhD. Now, it took me a while to do my PhD. Some of you youngsters may want to go faster than I did, but I got it done, and I got it done well. Okay, so healthy, sustainable habits. I made a little list on paper because I'm old school. Now, you all, I'm going to preface by saying that I am from a different generation than those of you who are younger. And so some of my philosophy may not jive with you, but I will ask you just to consider what I'm saying, okay? Because there's value. You all need to listen to us old folks because we've lived some days and we've done some things, and we might be able to help you to avoid some pitfalls. Okay, sustainable, healthy habits. First off, I'm just going to start by saying when I first decided to go ahead and apply to a doctoral program, and once I received my acceptance, I knew right there some things had to change in my life. So I gave up TV because I used to watch, my television would be on all day. And I had favorite shows and I watched television, but I had to give up TV. I pulled back on my YouTube because I used to make a lot of YouTube videos and I would edit those videos. So I had to pull back on YouTube and just really focus, because you're going to have a lot of reading. You're still working a job more than likely. I was still teaching full time. Teaching full time and carrying pretty much, I mean, it was a part-time workload, but it really felt like a full-time workload, because every day you're going to have about 4 to 5 hours of reading and coursework every day. So I gave up my television, I pulled back on my hobbies, and I really focused on doing a good job in the program. So that's the first thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to consider like areas of your life that you can give up or compromise or negotiate for the program. Now, my children are adults, so I didn't have to, I didn't have to come home and cook. I did those things. I did housework. I did chores, but I didn't have to have other people's concerns or cares in my mind. So those of you with families, with spouses, with commitments, committees and other things of that nature, this is a good time to sit down with those people who are important to you in those areas and negotiate. Like, tell them what it is that you're doing, tell them what it is that is required of you, tell them how many hours a day you need, have some structure set around that, and build in some kind of family time. Like for me, I needed to just remind myself to touch base with my family. Let them know I'm still in the land of the living. Let them know they're still on my mind and in my heart and in my prayer. Reach out and just let people know, that you're still important to me. I'm just doing this thing here. All right? Okay. Read and write consistently. Read and write consistently. You will be reading a lot. During my first 3.5, 4 years of the program, it was getting all of the statistics classes, the leadership studies, looking at components of literacy, language literacy, and teaching reading, getting those focuses on adolescents. A lot of reading, a lot of coursework, a lot of engagement on Blackboard or whatever platform your school uses, especially now that everybody is remote and asynchronous. And so, yeah, that's how I was initially. Lots of reading. I would read on duty. I would have my materials or my outline in a notebook binder, 3-ring binder, and I would have it with me when I was on duty in the mornings. I just kept it so that when I had any downtime, if I was standing around or if I was just had time where I could look at my notes or read a chapter or read a paragraph even to annotate or highlight key phrases, that's how I did it. There's a lot of reading involved and a lot of writing. And so the writing is designed to prep you for the scientific writing of a dissertation, because scientific writing of a dissertation is different from other types of writing, even other types of academic writing. So, and I teach writing. I teach my students how to construct, how to brainstorm, how to generate ideas, how to get their voice. I know all of that's about, how to write an argumentative essay and how to write, persuasively or informatively. But the dissertation writing is a scientific writing that is different. And so get into the habit of just writing a lot. Now, when I say writing a lot, I mean start where you are with what you know, like write on the assignments, write in your journal, reflect on the day, reflect on the process, write of what is relevant to your topic of study, generate ideas and begin developing a portfolio of potential manuscripts for publication. That's the mindset that I had when I, was in my pre-candidate days of my program. Okay, so read and write consistently. Okay, now in my next bullet, I have write manuscripts that relate to your studies. So I had was building relationships in my cohort. We would, interact on the platform and answer and respond to one another's work. And so, we were beginning to develop friendships. And so some of us decided to write together. One person put out a call. Hey, who's interested in writing? I said, I am. Who's interested in collaborating on a manuscript for publication? I am. I put my name in the hat. And so 3 of us put our names in the hat, and we formed a writing collaborative where one of the 3 of us had opportunities or, knew of opportunities and would share those with the collaborative, and we would go for it, And so write, because, and some people will say, well, don't write because it's going to take you off focus of your dissertation or, your pre-proposal or whatever. Not if you're writing about similar topics or topics that relate and that can bridge or, support one another, right? So, yeah, I say write, and collaborate and learn the process of collaborating. I really enjoyed our process because we would divide the work. We had one person who was like the leader because that person had the dibs, right? That person brought the toys to the game. And we would discuss, okay, well, who's going to do whatever and what our focus and our expertise and our experience. And then we discuss how we would share it and how it would be a good component for whatever we were writing. And then we would just build it out, through our discussions, through Google. You can collaborate on Google on a doc. We would do phone, Zoom. Okay, so write and collaborate with writing. I'm I've heard people talk about what is this thing called? Paper bait. Paper bait. Now I had not heard that term before, but I heard someone a Ph.D. speaking about paper bait. This is when someone will ask you to, like, they will present a writing opportunity to you, but it was not really collaboration. It was just, hey, if you do this, I will put your name on the paper. Well, I don't think that's a good idea, because the process of collaborating is building. When you're working together and you're getting those ideas and you're discussing the topic, you're constructing and building something. That whole process is dynamic, which will lead you to other opportunities, like to present at conferences and seminars. I know the three of us, our collaborative group, we've presented at seminars and webinars, and we've written a book chapter and gone off and done so many things. So paper bait, I've heard of it now, and I'm sharing it with you, and I'm saying don't fall for paper bait. If you're going to have your name on something, have your name on it for value, right? I mean, really. Just do it. Bake the cake, put all the right ingredients in it, and bake the cake correctly. You don't want to have a cake that looks good, but then when you go to cut it and eat it, it tastes like paper, right? And I ought to know, because I'm not the best cook, and I've cooked some food that tastes like paper. Okay, but not on this writing. Okay, so I've said I've developed some sustainable, healthy habits by giving up certain things. Television, I gave up my YouTube. I used to blog. I haven't blogged. I used to do a lot of things for hobbies to keep myself, but those died down, right? Read and write consistently, because in every point of the day, if you're able to, those of you who are teachers on duty, well, see, we ain't even on duty no more. We're sitting at a computer. Oh my goodness. I don't know how this translates to COVID. Like, how is this gonna look in the COVID day? I guess it will look like, I don't know, we get 5 minutes between our classes, and now we get an hour lunch. So I guess if you get an hour lunch, you can read and eat lunch. And then if you're in a meeting, maybe you can, I don't know, look at the agenda prior to the meeting, jot some questions, and then use some of that time on your studies. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay, and avoid paper bait, guys. Write, but avoid. Okay, moving on. Oh, mentoring. Okay, guys. Finding a mentor. Okay, so when I started my program, I didn't know anybody in that school. I'm not a person who is very like cheerful, blah blah blah, and cheerful with everybody and making friends with just everybody, every teacher. That's not me. Like, I'm respectful to people, but I don't know. I'm just a little in the background kind of a lady, right? But if I sense that people are friendly, then I will engage with them. And so that helped me to kind of I adopted people to be my mentors. That's how I did it. If I sensed that someone was too busy, disinterested, or what they had to share wasn't relevant, or whatever, it wasn't a mesh, I didn't pursue them for asking them questions or listening to them, right? But if I sensed that someone was open and willing and available, I would ask them questions and try to learn. So I did that with the professor. Now, this was 2017, so I was a new doctoral candidate, and I was involved in a STEM group of educators where we were looking at bringing STEM into the content area, STEM principles, STEM, STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and math, looking at how to bring STEM principles into all the content areas. And I was teaching reading, language arts, so we were looking at how to, bring that into reading, language arts. So I was in this collaborative group. We would meet once a month at all day long on a Saturday with professors from ASU and Glendale Community College. And so one of the professors there, he would come. He didn't come every. Did we meet once or did we meet twice a month? I can't remember. It was either once or twice a month. We met all day. It was a full day on a Saturday. But anyway. And then we would have like an hour or two during the week, like once a month or something. But there was a professor who was doing the statistical data collection part of the study. And he seemed approachable. So we were at lunch, on our lunch break, and I just chatted it, started a conversation, was chatting it up with them. And before we knew it, we had been talking and people were back in the class learning. And so I learned so much from him. And that was at the very beginning of my doctoral dissertation days where I was a candidate and I was trying to get my pre-proposal together. And I'm going to tell you, that was hard because I couldn't find, and I did a lot of searching. Maybe I wasn't searching in the right places, but I couldn't find like a model or a template. Even though the school provided me with one, I couldn't find what I felt was the right fit for me to construct my pre-proposal. And so talking to people, finding mentors on various platforms, looking at webinars, joining a group. I joined Dr. Guy's Dissertation Warriors group. I was in that group for about a year, I think. So finding these different mentors who you feel could advance you from step A to step B, that's so important to do. And it's so important to listen and be teachable, and to allow people to tell you what your shortcomings are, and not to be easily offended or to be easily emotive or down or easily emotionally reactive, just to kind of learn how to control and take charge of the emotional response. Because the dissertation writing is iterative. You're going back and forth, you're making advances and you're going back. You're doing this, and then they want you to look at this and make revisions here and look at, so it's iterative, it's not like Zoom, you're done. Just like how I tell my students, when you're writing, that's beautiful what you have, but now what you're required to have in the type of writing that we are doing is missing. So now let's look at that, right? And so that's how it can be with your dissertation. All right, I'm taking a whole lot of time. I didn't mean to. So select a mentor, select the mentorship program. Even if it means start thinking about your postdoctoral work and looking for mentors who could lead you into a postdoc, but who could help you in the present as well. Someone who could be a sounding board, who could lead you to, workshops, or resources that can get your dissertation done. Okay, be focused, be firm, but be friendly. Okay, so this one, be focused, firm, yet friendly, means like, and I I don't think I had any issues with being focused. I would take breaks though, and I advise people to take breaks, like a day or two, where you just take a break from all the data dumping and note taking. Just take a break. But be firm, be focused. Don't waste your time on stuff. Be firm. You have to tell people, no, I can't go there. I can't do that today, but I can do it on XYZ day. Be firm. But be friendly. Like, I don't know, send out cards to folks, or I send e-cards to people, or just drop them a text, or just try to be friendly and let people know, hey, I'm still around, and just things like that. And then even like in the program where your chair or your mentor is taking a long time to respond, don't get all bunched up out of shape about it though. Like, try not to get an attitude. Try not to be angry with them for taking a long time, because and see, this is what I mean by I'm from a different generation. Like, the younger generation is used to a faster response, microwave, right? Computer. I'm from a generation where we had to learn patience, right? And my parents are from a generation where they had to really wait. So when it's moving too slowly, instead of getting angry and upset, note, just take data, like communicate dates, expectations, or expected return times. Tell in your emails or in your conversations, articulate the time frame. Share that. Tell them, I'm sending this document to you today, Tuesday, November 24th, but I need it back by Friday, November 27th, or whatever Friday is, right? Okay. Because that is what doctorates do. We collect data and we specify, right? So, and plus it helps to make the communication flow. It keeps the lines of communication open. And if they don't get back to you in the time frame, when you reach out again, instead of reaching from your emotion, like, oh, they're ignoring me, blah, 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 you go in pleasantly, however you're approaching them, pleasantly. Hi, this is Lynn. How are you? I hope all things are going well for you. Did you receive my email that I sent you on Tuesday, November 24th? And yeah, I sent you the document, and I was wondering, what do you think about it? What do you think about, I've got 17 pages. Can you give me any feedback on that? I'm so excited to hear what you had to say. I mean, yeah. There were so many days when I wasn't like that. What's taking them so long? I ain't heard from her, blah, blah, blah. And then it wasn't only me. Like, there were other students, because we formed our own little Facebook group, and we would meet over there and chat. And other students would say, I haven't heard back from my blah, 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 blah. And if you're not careful, I mean, it's okay to say, yeah, me either. But if you're not careful, you'll find yourself spiraling down into the whines and the worries. Whiny, worrying, instead of taking an approach that is more direct and more, I don't know, more proactive. So focused, be firm, and be friendly in your communications with everybody who's involved in your doctoral program. Just be kind. You win more over with honey. You win more bees with honey. So just remember that. I'm emphasizing that for a reason. I'm a part of a Facebook group. I'm a part of several, actually, with some heavy hitters, man. Heavy hitters in qualitative data. And then I'm also in a group where heavy hitters in just Ph.D, the various fields of the doctoral programs across the country. Okay, so in one of the groups I belong to is All Moms. And in one of the groups, I can't remember which, someone had mentioned, I sent my chair something. Oh, not her chair. It was someone at the site where she wants to conduct her study. I sent them the information, blah, 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 2 weeks ago or whatever. And here it is this week of Thanksgiving, and I haven't heard back from them yet. What should I do? And people were telling her, circumvent the person, go around which I just said, send them a kind, sweet reminder, the person and the secretary, a gentle reminder. It wouldn't hurt to put something sweet, some sweet drink, like, a Starbucks card or a donut, Dunkin' Donut card, listen. You can circumvent people, but don't you know they're going to know, and how are they going to feel? Especially if it's someone who helped you to get somewhere. Now, look, I've learned this now that I'm old. I didn't know this when I knew it, but I didn't care when I was young. Young people don't care, but if you're on this video, you care. Okay. When you're doing things that impact your future, your career future, you have to think in terms of building relationships. So if you're going to circumvent the lady, I would suggest you reach out kindly with just send a card, a text, or some communication, a digital Starbucks card, or a digital Amazon little $5, $10. Look, it don't have to be a whole lot of money. $5, $10 drink at Starbucks, $5, $10 Dunkin' Donut digital whatever, and tell them, I'm going to be there on blah 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 date to pick up blah blah blah, right? And hopefully you will hear back from them before that date, and you all will be able to iron everything out. But to circumvent the person all the way without even trying to let them know, hey, we're still in good standing, that's gonna burn down your house. Because most leaders have an ego. And in Robert Greene's the 48 laws of power, never outshine the master, never. And so if you circumvent them, you're being clever, which you're supposed to be, but you're sort of outshining that person, even though they're not your boss possibly, but they're still in that authority position. They're a gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper lets you in. They open the gate and let you in. If you circumvent the gatekeeper, you're just going to be outside. I know it because I've done it. And, I'm 100 years old now, and I know the better of it now. You don't have to make those mistakes. So yeah. Okay, now this video is very long. I didn't expect to go this long, you all. But listen, and if I was stammering or going too long on some of the sections, just fast forward, because I think all of these sections are they were beneficial to me. I wish somebody would have told me some of these things. I did my doctoral because I had an interest. Everything that I do for learning is because I have an interest. It's like, I just need to know. I just need to know. I have an interest. I really want to know. And then I have that desire to do something with the information, right? So the last thing, collaborate and communicate. Did I talk about that? Yeah, collaborate and communicate. That's it. Collaborate, build bridges, and talk to folks. And you will be surprised how many doors of opportunities open for you. Okay? And then that will take you beyond your circle of influence, your current circle of influence. The doors will open up. Like, for me, I have made friends globally because of these opportunities, and I'm very grateful to my friends, my writing buddies. I'm grateful to them. I'm grateful to the different groups that have, the gatekeepers have opened the door and said, come on in and let's chat. So, all right, everyone, this video is very long. I hope you like it. Tell me if you are in a doctoral program, or if you're considering a doctoral program, you really need to think about what it is that you want to study, and you have to think in terms of what will your contribution be. It's got to be something more than what is out here already, right? You have to think in terms about how are you going to serve the community that you are a part of, or that you're trying to influence and impact and help. And so, all right, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Tell me in the comments. All right, be blessed. Thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.